Hi there, I'm Teros and welcome to my first Nuzlocke challenge. Normally, you would find me speaking German on this channel, but to better connect with the Nuzlocke community, I will give an English commentary a try. Let's begin with the rules. When you want to skip these, go to the timestamp you see on screen. You ask yourself, what is the softcore rule set? Well, I never played the Nuzlocke challenge before, but I like some of the hardcore rules. So, I made my own rule set, consisting of hardcore rules, just softened up a bit. Let's start with the normal rules. Number 1. Every catched Pokemon has to be nicknamed. Number 2. I can only catch the first Pokemon encountered on every route. Gifted Pokemon or eggs don't count as an encounter. If a Pokemon from an evolution line was already catched, it is allowed to use the next encounter. Shiny Pokemon are free game and can always be catched and used. Legendaries can also be catched but not be used. And HM slaves are allowed. Number 3. Fainted Pokemon are considered dead and can't be used anymore. So, with that out of the way, let's get to the special rules. Number 4. Healing items are restricted. From Gym 1 to 3, I can use 2 potions. From Gym 4 to 6, I can use 2 super potions. For Gym 7 and 8, I can use 2 hyper potions. And for the Elite 4 and the Champion, I can use 2 full restores per battle. And healing items outside of battles are also allowed. Number 5. Health items are also allowed. Now comes the most complicated rule of them all. Number 6. I'm not allowed to overlevel the highest team member of every gym leader, but with every badge, I gain 1 level to overlevel. What this means is, every badge gives me 1 extra level to the current level cap. I hope this list makes this clearer. For Brooke, the level cap is level 12. Without any gym badges, the level cap stays the same. Next is Misty. Normally, her level cap would be her level 21 Staryu, but with 1 badge acquired, I can overlevel by 1 and get to 22. The list on screen shows you every gym leader, their normal level cap, and the level cap I would get if I beat the gyms before. Next is rule number 7. The battle style has to be set on follow, so no switching after defeating an enemy's Pokemon. Number 8 is, I am allowed to full wipe 3 times. Of course, this is only possible if I have Pokemon left to use. I made this rule so that I don't have to start over and begin at 0 after a wipe. I play this game once every week for 2 to 3 hours. So 1 reset in the middle of the run means many more weeks for me. And, last but not least, number 9. With the use of the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, I changed evolutions so I can use some Pokemon that would otherwise be unobtainable. For example, Haunter does not need to be traded but evolves at level 37 to Gengar. This does however not allow me to use the evolutions that you can first get with the National Pokédex, which you get after beating the Elite 4. You can find the full list of changed evolutions on the screen right now, or down in the description, where I also listed all rules so you can read them in peace or even copy them for personal use. So, without further ado, let's start this challenge. Of course, we begin with telling old Gramps Oak what we have in our pants and in what order we want our favorite letters and number to be ordered. We also remind him of his grandson Bud. You just know, he was not a desired child. Our adventure begins with us running laps around the old TV and Nintendo's most recent console. Oh, wait, it's just an NES. The graphics of it are just too similar to Pokemon Legends. Of course, we log onto the PC and take the old reliable and go downstairs to meet our mother. After a short goodbye, we get interrupted by Oak, who leads us to his van, his lab, and he tells us about his youth and how he wanted to be the very best like no one ever was, but only managed to catch 3 Pokemon that you can find nowhere else in Kanto. Like every old guy trying to lure in children, he gives us something, in this case a Bulbasaur, that we name Poison Ivan. Why do you choose Bulbasaur? I never picked it before, and in recent years I learned to love Venusaur, especially for its Mega Evolution. I know grass types are not the best, but I want to spread the Venusaur love. But tell me, what was your first starter? Mine was Charmander, back in the old days where games were black and white and you needed a light source to play on your Game Boy. After taking Poison Ivan, Bud wants to battle us with his Charmander. Bud starts by telling his Reptilian to scream at us and Ivan gets weaker. We trade blows, but in the end, Ivan just doesn't cut it and loses. And this concludes, no, I don't have what it takes to win a Nuzlocke challenge. After using CPR on Ivan, we leave the lab and make our way to Route 1. Because we don't have Pokeballs yet, these encounters don't count. But what counts is the free potions that we get from this young fella. After a few battles, we reach Viridian City and enter the local shop to pick up Professor Oak's strange package. On our way back to Pallet Town, Poison Ivan reaches level 6. We deliver the package, which turns out to be a special Pokeball, and as a reward, we gain the Pokédex from old Smuggling Oak. The more important gift, however, are our first Pokeballs, which we instantly use to catch our first encounter, a Pidgey at level 3. We clarify that there are only 2 viable options to catch a Pokemon. Number 1, spamming the A button after throwing a ball. And number 2, pressing the A button with every shake of the ball. If you use other techniques, you're wrong and can't be the very best, like no one ever was. In the Nuzlocke, even the first encounter can be dangerous, but after wiggling it down, we catch the Pidgey and name it Birdman. Birdman has a quirky nature, so it's neutral, which is completely fine with me. After getting patched up by our mom, we once again make our way through Route 1. Ivan learns Leech Seed, which is a good move to keep him healthy and do damage over time. We go back to Viridian City once more, heal up and level Birdman up to level 6. We then go on to Route 22, where I wished for a Mankey but just got a Rattata. However, the future will show that this Rattata will help us through some pretty tough fights, and you should not underestimate the sharp fangs of Eradicate. Rattata eats up 3 of our Pokeballs, but we finally catch it and name it Squirrel. She's a naughty girl, which boosts her attack even more. With her stab boosted normal attacks, this rat, or squirrel, will rip some pretty big chunks out of our opponents. We train all of our team members to level 9, except Poison Ivan, who we level up to level 10. So we can fight our rival Bud in the optional battle on Route 22. The fight starts and we lead with Squirrel, while Bud puts out his Pidgey. He lows our accuracy, but Squirrel finishes the Pidgey with 3 quick attacks while not missing once. His next and last Pokemon is Charmander, which you can chip down with Squirrel until we get so low that a lucky crit would bring us down. We switch into Poison Ivan to show dominance, and after really low damage Vine Whip, we finish the Charmander and the battle with a tackle. We redeemed ourselves and finished the battle with these. We heal up and I look up our next encounters. It is here that I noticed that we could have skipped to Route 2, catch a Rattata there, and then return to Route 22 to get our Mankey. Well, this can't be changed now, but I should remember this possibility for the future. On our way to Route 2, this old guy smelling like a liquor store wants to teach us how to catch Pokemon. After speeding through it, we reach Route 2 and are able to catch a Weedle, which we named the Wasp. For now, the name does not make sense, but in just a few levels, Beedrill will bring honor to its name. Not so honorable is his quiet nature, which gives us a useless boost in special attack and even lowers our speed. At the end of Route 2, we enter the deep, dark Viridian Forest. We could get a Pikachu, but the chances are very slim, and we end up with a Caterpie. We catch it and name him Mothman. He is a gentle creature, which is neither good nor bad. With our 5th team member, we fight our way through the forest, and with the help of our poison types, we don't even need too many antidotes. The Wasp even evolves into a Kakuna, and we leave the forest behind. In Pewter City, we heal our team members and level them up close to the level cap, because Brooke awaits us as the first gym leader. With Poison Ivan as our starter, he shouldn't be too difficult. Leech Seed will keep us healthy, while Vine Whip does times 4 damage to almost every Pokemon in the gym. We stomped the first and only normal trainer in the gym, but his Geodude and Sandshrew bring Ivan up to level 12, so the battle against Brook is even. Well, almost. Just until we get out our jukebox, so Brook and his rock and ground type Pokemon can watch us whip 2 times, follow up by nay-naying and receiving our first badge. If all gyms will be this easy, we can cross out the challenge part from a Nuzlocke challenge. After this easy battle, we go east onto Route 3, where we battle the trainers to level up our team. The Wasp gets enough level to reach his final form. Now Mothman has just to level up as well, and wait, why do I hear boss music? We run into a trainer with the level 14 Spearow, and our team isn't healed up. We switch from Mothman into Poison Ivan, and even though the Spearow does not use Peck, its Fury attack hits 4 times and even crits once, bringing Ivan down to only 13 HP. Right now, this fight doesn't look too good for us. I don't really have a plan right now, and I see the wipe this early in the run. My last hope was to slow it down with Mothman, so our other team members can hit the Spearow before it attacks. We hit the string shot and switch to Squirrel, but the Peck does too much damage. We go back into Mothman and the Spearow once again hits 4 freaking times with the Fury attack. In my head, I go back and forth, and with only 1 string shot, my Pokemon are still not fast enough. We hit 3 more string shots because the Spearow only uses Growl and Leer, but in the end, we have to sacrifice Mothman so we can switch into another Pokemon. I'm sorry Mothman, you did not reach your final form, but with your courage, you're still the most beautiful Pokemon. Rest in peace. It's far from over, however. I switch into Birdman and want to lower the accuracy with Thant Attack. What I forget, however, is the ability Keen Eye that prevents it from being lowered. To our luck, the Spearow misses its next Fury attack, and in the next round, we retaliate with a crit Gust, while the Spearow brings us down to only 2 HP. Another Gust finishes the Spearow, and I'm very close to a mental breakdown. It's too early in the run for this kind of stress. We place Mothman in the graveyard and continue our journey with 1 friend less. We finished the other trainers on Route 3 without any more problems and reached the Pokemon Center just outside of Mount Moon. I plan what Pokemon I want to encounter in Mount Moon. The Geodude would be cool because we can use it for Lieutenant Surge, and we can even evolve it into a Golem, which is a good defensive Pokemon. So to have the highest chance for a Geodude, we use the Repel to get down to the second basement. Here Geodude has a 30% chance to be encountered. Well, 30 is not enough for the game, which gives us a 6% Clefable. Well, it is also a very defensive Pokemon, and once again I will learn to love this little pink alien. We catch it and name it Sailor Moon. Our little moon princess is a very gentle one, which is perfect, because it boosts our special defense even more. With the ability Q-Charm, we get even tankier when the enemy can't attack us, because we are just too cute. To top it all off, Sailor Moon does have Encore, which is just a really good status attack for a Nuzlocke. You remove some randomness from a fight if you know what move your opponent will use for the next few rounds, and with that, you can plan accordingly. With Sailor Moon, we are once again up to 5 Pokemon and are just one short for having a full team. We heal back up and now battle the trainers in Mount Moon to level up our Pokemon. In one fight, the enemy's Clefable brings Squirgle down to only 2 HP because I fast forward and don't pay attention. We fight through the rest of the cave with these, and Squirgle learns the mighty Hyper Fang, which has a base damage of 80 and can flinch the opponent. Poison Evan also reaches level 16 and evolves into an Ivysaur. Before leaving Mount Moon, we of course take the Helix Fossil to praise our Lord and Savior. Reaching Route 4, we talk to Bruce Lee so he can teach Sailor Moon Mega Punch, a base 80 normal type attack that boosts her offensive side enormous. We enter Cerulean City to heal our Pokemon before going back to Route 4 where we can catch our own Spearow. However, I forgot to nickname it, so until we can rename it, we are not allowed to use it. That's no problem because we only want it so it's not a possible encounter on our upcoming routes. Here in Cerulean City, it is up to us if we want to battle the gym or our rival Bud and the Nugget Bridge first. I decide to start with our rival because his Pokemon are at a lower level than Misty's at the gym. With the plan set, we train our team on Route 4 up to level 18, so we can fight Bud with confidence. While training, the Wasp drops down to 1 HP and almost gets killed. Sooner or later, this fast forwarding will kill someone on my team. With everyone up to level, we begin the fight with Bud by leading Birdman. My plan was to make use of Birdman's Keen-Eye ability so as Pidgeotto does waste a turn with Sand Attack. I start with Gust and take about a quarter of Pidgeot's health. We crit the next Gust and finish his Pokemon with a Quick Attack while staying at 37 HP. Next, Bud sends out his Rattata. With Birdman in the lead, we can make use of Sand Attack to lower his accuracy. I know, a dirty tactic, but if it works, it works. After second Sand Attack, we switch to Poison Evan, but even after 2 accuracy drops, Bud's Rattata still hits us with a Quick Attack. My plan is to chip down Rattata with Leech Seed and Poison Powder, but his freaking Rattata hits every single attack. Bud may have the luck and accuracy, but I have the lucky crits. And with the second one in this fight, we Vine Whip the Rattata down. Now Bud brings out his ace Charmander. It may not be evolved, but it can do some serious damage with Ember, especially if I bring it down into Blaze range. Because Poison Evan would be dead to a crit at this range, we switch out into Sailor Moon. Her special defense is really good, and with Growl we can even lower Charmander's normal attack stat. Sailor Moon sings a good night song for an even greater advantage. We can use Growl to lower the attack, but the turn Charmander wakes up, it crits with Ember and leaves us just above half HP. Even another crit would not kill us, so we use Mega Punch and bring it down to 3/5 remaining HP. A crit on both sides will finish this. Charmander does not get it, but we do, and we finish it off. The crits are flying left and right in this battle, but lucky for us, we are the ones that land them. With nothing but Arbor remaining, we switch to the Wasp and finish this rival battle. All in all, it wasn't very close, but I shouldn't have played that risk with Sailor Moon. After kicking Bud's ass, we make our way over the Nugget Bridge. The trainers here are not challenged at all, but are a good source for XP. On Route 24 and 25, we have a chance to catch an Oddish and an Abra. The problem is, if we don't catch Abra with the first try, it will teleport away. We could ignore these routes and come back with Super or even Ultra Bolts. Or we could get something like the ability Arena Trap that prevents escaping, but I want to play this unreasonable risky. On Route 24, we catch an Oddish, which we name Groot. This, however, is completely useless. First, I hate Oddish and its evolutions. And second, it has the exact same typing as our starter. This means we can catch an Abra on Route 25. We throw the ball. 1, 2, 3, and it's gone. Well, that's sad. We could have gotten Alakazam, one of the strongest Pokemon in the early gens, but fate thinks we can work this challenge without it, so we complete the remaining Route 25 and take the XP from the trainers. We help Bill with his unholy experiments, and in return we gain a ticket for a local cruise ship. With the local gym as our next challenge, we train everyone up to level cap. At level 20, the Wasp lands Twin Needle, the only close to usable bug attack. This could be a really good attack for Misty Starmie, which has a psychic type but no psychic attack. Squirgle, however, evolves to Eradicate, which boosts her attack stat. We train everyone up to level 21 except the Wasp, where we use our extra level to get to 22. We battle the trainers in the gym and decimate them with the new gain power of Squirgle. Now, only the leader Misty remains, so let's get started. We lead with Squirgle to show off our enormous offensive power. Misty sends out her Staryu, but before it even sets its starfish legs on the battlefield, Squirgle's sharp teeth rip it apart. One down, one to go. Misty's Ace Starmie is a good all-rounder, which can take a hit but dish out some damage as well. To gain an advantage with our team, we use Scary Face to lower Starmie's speed. It hits us for about half HP, so we switch out into Poison Ivan. He takes the water pulse exceptionally well, and we can set up our survivability with Leech Seed. Starmie, however, follows up with a crit Swift that brings us down to 25 HP. We heal up with Leech Seed, and not even a crit from any attack can kill us right now. Poison Ivan hits the Poison Powder, and after the round we end up with 25 HP once more. A crit would kill now, so we bring out Sailor Moon. Starmie heals up with Recover, but with the Poison and the Leech Seed we do continuously damage. Starmie hits us with the Water Pulse for about a third, and our Mega Punch brings it down into the yellow. The chip damage brings it into healing range, and on the next turn, Misty uses a Super Potion while our Mega Punch sadly misses. This doesn't matter, however, because the next turn Sailor Moon hits a crit, so the chip damage takes it down with ease. In hindsight, I should have used Hyper Fang with Squirgle. Scary Face wasn't that useful, and it would have either used Recover for a free switch, or, if not, I could have taken it down easier. But well, we end the fight without any losses and get our second badge. With another gym out of the way, we make our preparations to continue our adventure southside. Behind the house we find a rocket grunt that just wants to dig around. We, however, play the bully on the playground, beat him up and steal his little shovel, or, in this case, the Dig TM. Going down south, we catch a little money-giving kitty cat on Route 5 and call him Wolverine. We use the underground path to reach Route 6 because this strange man in this building is pissed. Because he's thirsty. Yes, thirsty. You wanna go to work? Well, too bad, because I want something to drink. Medical emergency, bring me a cold one. Okay, fine. We battle the trainers here and try not to overlevel because the next level cap is level 24 for Lieutenant Surge. We struggle a bit against the Butterfree. This is what Mothman could have been. Before we know it, we reach Vermilion City, the home of the Electric Gym and the SSN. Here we get the coupon to get the bike, but more important, we get a fishing rod. Why is the fishing rod so good? The rod allows us to get a Magic Cup, which is still not good, but it will evolve into Gyarados, and this freaking water snake is not even good, but it's busted. Long story short, we get one and name her Aqua Woman. Aqua Woman joins the team so we can use her for two things. Number 1, we can train her up with the trainers on the SSN. Number 2, she will take some of the XP so that the rest of the team does not overlevel. We enter our free ride and start battling away. We just break into every room we want, kick kids and old people in the face, take their things, and sleep in this one girl's bed without asking. Are we the bad guys? We do all of this to prepare for the next rival fight. Once again, Bud wants to prove his dominance, but like the last time, we will kick him like his name suggests. So just before we can meet the captain, Bud comes down the stairs and starts the fight. We both start with Pidgeotto, but our Birdman has a higher level, so with 4 gusts and 1 quick attack, we finish his and still have above half HP. Next up is Eradicate, and knowing the damage this thing can do, we make the safe choice and switch into Poison Ivan. We tank a Hyper Fang really good and plant some seeds on the thing. The next Hyper Fang does a good chunk of health thanks to 1 Tail Whip. Before switching out, we get the poison on this thing, and next up for our team is our own Eradicate Squirgle. One of our own Hyper Fangs takes the remaining HP and it looks pretty good for us. Bud's next Pokemon is Kadabra, but we are faster than that thing and one hit right back into its Pokeball. Last up is Bud's now evolved Chameleon. Squirgle, however, has tasted blood and wants more, so it quits with Hyper Fang and also one-hit KOs the Burning Lizard. I don't know how Bud can be such a bad trainer that he switches out his Eradicate after seeing what it is capable of if you train it right and give it the love that it deserves. Squirgle swept right through his team so we can get to the captain of this vessel. He saw the bad tactics of Bud and is close to throwing up. A nice, soft massage of a small child, however, brings this old guy back to shape, and as a thank you, he gives us our own first HM. Before leaving the cruise, we clean off the remaining dirt on the decks. While doing this, some circumstances, mostly hitting yourself in confusion, and a super effective attack, while not being at full HP, brings Birdman down to 3 HP. Did I already talk about how fast forwarding will kill someone in this run? No? After this instant, we leave the SSN and are almost ready for Lieutenant Search. To get to this gym though, we need a Pokemon that can learn Cut. I don't want this attack on any of our normal team members, so we go back to Route 6 and catch another Meowth so it can learn the HM. Another thing we have to do is use the location of the gym. Lucky for us, there's a cave nearby, the Diglett Cave, where we can, who would have thought, catch Diglets. This tiny mole may not be the tankiest guy, but it can dish out some good damage against electric types, while they are not able to hit him with their shocking attacks. We find one, bring it to sleep and catch it without any problems. We name it Catwoman, and its impish nature is neither good nor bad. It will do just fine for this gym. We bring everyone up to level cap except for Catwoman because she needs to defeat the normal trainers in the gym. We enter the gym, beat up the trainers, and before doing the most annoying puzzle ever, we bring Catwoman as close to level 25 as we can, so that the first KO versus Lieutenant Search will give us a level up. After an eternity, digging through rubbish, we find both levers and are able to battle this military guy. He sends out an old nuke that he brought back from the war while we lead with Poison Ivan. We start the battle with the old Leech Seed Poison Powder tactic that works like a charm. While we easily tank the shockwaves, the Sonic Boom is a problem because it deals fixed damage. We do, however, exceptionally good damage with the newly acquired Razor Leaf and finish off the Voltorb while only losing 1/4 of our HP. Next up is this Pikachu, and my plan was to put it to sleep with Sailor Moon so I can safely switch it to Catwoman. My nervous fingers get the better of me, however, and I accidentally use Razor Leaf again. Pikachu survives with what can only be 1 HP. And in the next round gets healed up with a super potion. We bring it once again down into the red, and right now I'm unsure what to do. Right now we are nowhere near a dangerous situation, but Raichu can dish out some good damage, and if I have to swap Catwoman in, it may one-shot our little Diglett. I decide to bring in Sailor Moon, and the Pikachu paralyzes us. I want to trap it into Thunder Wave with Encore, but it switches to Shockwave. This, however, is not a problem because we can take it with ease, and now we can bring in Catwoman on a safe switch. And right now it hits me. Why do I not just use the Encore tactic against Raichu? I finish Pikachu off with the Mega Punch and in comes Raichu. It starts with double team, and while the first Encore misses, the second one does hit, and so the Raichu's locked into double team. The only problem now is that none of our ground moves on Catwoman are safe to hit. Well, we have to risk it. So I bring her in with 3 double teams. It's like a -3 accuracy stat, which means we only have a 50% chance to hit it. I go for Magnitude and risk the low roll. But we get the 8 and finish Raichu in 1 hit and finish this battle. My tactics were all over the place, and sadly I don't play as intelligent as my team would allow me. Right now, however, I'm just happy that we finish another gym battle without any losses. We snatch the Thunder Badge right out of his hand and leave the gym. We swap Catwoman out for Aquawoman so we can train her to become a mighty Gyarados. We enter the Diglett Cave and, well, you know, the Diglett line has this cool ability, Arena Trap, which prevents you from switching out or fleeing from battle. And with a Pokemon in the lead that can't attack, yeah, Aquaman is pretty much screwed. The Diglett throws dirt into Aquaman's eyes multiple times and then breaks her fishy bones with Magnitude. But instead of finishing it, the Diglett watches us splashing and wiggling helplessly with broken bones and fin, and even screams at us for being that pathetic. This little devil makes Aquaman suffer for many rounds before finishing her off with another Magnitude. This is our second death in this run, and like the first one, this would have been easily preventable. We place Aquaman right next to Mothman so they don't feel so lonely. After that, we acquire the old Amber while we are back in Pewter City. We use this opportunity to catch a Pokemon on Route 4. We spared this encounter so we can get a Mankey or a Nidoran after catching other Pokemon on later routes. We find the Nidoran, catch it and name it Colossus. He's a jolly one, and we add him to the active party. He can't, however, fill the gap that Aquaman left behind. So what do? We travel back to Viridian City to catch another Magikarp. We fish one, name it Aquaman, and remember to not have it in the lead when we cross the Diglett Cave. It has an adamant nature, which at first I thought was really bad, because all water moves are special in this gen, and Gyarados does not learn any flying type moves. But the attack state of it is so busted that with just normal moves and no step attacks, it will still dish out some enormous damage. We backtrack a bit so we can get to the bush that blocks off Route 9. We cut it down and enter the new route. We beat up the trainers without anything noteworthy happening. Something that is noteworthy, however, is the Ekans that we catch and name Plastic Man. Why is this noteworthy, you ask? Now our encounter on Route 11 is a Drowsy. While not being as good as Alakazam, or as versatile as a Gengar, it is a Psychic type and somewhat tanky. And like I said before, Psychic type in the early gens is one, if not the best type out of all. If, for whatever reason, we don't get a Ghastly in Lavender Town, we now still can get a Drowsy. After that, we reach the Pokemon Center in front of the Rocket Tunnel so we can heal up before entering another cave. We beat up the camper that guards the cave and enter the Dark Tunnel. Lucky for us, we can use our HM Slave to learn Flash and use it here. Our encounter here is a Geodude, but by now we already have a ground Pokemon, or will have, when Colossus evolves into Nidoking. We catch it nonetheless and name it the Thing. It has a modest nature, which is the worst it could have. So we are not gonna use it unless we really have to. With the EXP of the trainer battles, Colossus makes his first evolution and becomes a Nidorino. We could evolve it even further right now, because we have a Moonstone. We delay the next evolution, however, because we wanted to learn Horn Attack at level 22. Level 22 is perfect, because here, with the evolution to Nidoking, Colossus will also learn Thrash, so that we have 2 really strong normal attacks in our arsenal. We battle our way through the rock tunnel, and the only thing threatening us is the lack of healing items. We can make good use of Evan's Leech Seed to heal a bit in each battle. With that said, we exit the cave and reach the mysterious Lavender Town. We can't do here much, however, because to clear the Ghost Tower we first need the Silph Scope. After healing up in the Pokemon Center, we finish the last trainers at the exit of the rock tunnel, and with that, Colossus reaches level 22. So, we evolve him with the Moonstone. After replenishing our healing supplies in the local market, we leave the town and go west. Here on Route 8, we battle the trainers to level up Aquaman so he can finally reach his final form. At the end of this route, another guardsman won't let us pass because he's too thirsty. Well, after he refuses my offer to spit him in his mouth, we use another illegal smuggling path to get to Route 7. We ignore it for now because there isn't anything interesting on this short route except catching a Growlithe, and so we enter Celadon City. This city is the Las Vegas of the Kanto region, with gambling and a big shopping mall. We rummage through the wide variety of items, and before we know it, we reach the rooftop. Here we can buy some soft drinks that, for whatever reason, heal more and cost less than medicine especially researched for Pokemon. I think the Pokemon healthcare is close to the one of the US. We gift some of the drinks to a little girl that, in return, gives us some defensive TMs. We stock up on Limo because, like I said before, it's cheap and heals more than a super potion. The only downside is that you always have to match through the menu and can only buy 1 Limo at a time. After spending some time on the vending machine, we go back to Route 7 and catch ourselves a Growlithe. We name him Crypto because it suits him. He has a sassy nature whatsoever, so he's not the fastest doggo. With everyone very close to the level cap, we are ready to face the trainers in the grass gym of Celadon City. We ignore the creepy guy at the entrance and enter it. With Birdman's flying attacks and Colossus resistance against poison attacks, we rush through the trainers with ease. We distribute some berries for all the status ailments that Erika's Pokemon can dish out. With all said and done, let's start the 4th gym leader fight. Erika leads with Victory Bell, while we bring out the Moon Princess Sailor Moon. The plan is to lock it into Stun Spore with Encore. The Stun Spore even misses, and with that, we know exactly what happens for the next few rounds. The plan cracks when I try to put it to sleep, so Encore ends, and a crit as it brings us down to 1/3 remaining HP. This plan backfired big, and I should have switched out while it was locked into Stun Spore. We do hit the next thing, and we are in a range for our bell to activate and heal up. With the sleeping plant, we switch it to Birdman. He makes his entrance with a crit wing attack that kills the Victory Bell. Nice one. Next up is Tangela. We bring it down really close to the red, and luckily its poison powder misses. Erika uses a Hyper Potion, but this only delays the death of her Pokemon. 2 down, 1 to go. Erika's last Pokemon is her ace Vileplume. Wing Attack brings it below half and Stun Spore misses once again. We finish it with another Wing Attack, and with that we win against the 4th gym leader with ease. The start could have been smoother, but to trust into Birdman's damage and all the misses of the Spore attacks were the keys to this fight and made it really easy. With that we gain the Rainbow Badge and are halfway through the gyms. Now it's up to us to decide which challenge will be next. We can choose between Sabrina's Psychic types and her Alakazam, or we can go to Fuchsia City and battle the Ninja Master Koga and his Poison types. The problem is, both have the same level cap. This means that we have to battle the first one with underleveled Pokemon. Colossus has a ×4 resistance against poison, so he will be our ace against Koga. Sabrina's Psychic types are a bit harder, because you can't get any dark Pokemon right now in the game. With this, I decide to challenge Koga first so that we can use the higher levels for Sabrina. Before doing that, however, we have something else to do. We enter the casino and beat up a guy that just gazes at a poster, but that's not enough for us. We enter the Rocket HQ and start once more looting this place and beating up everyone in it. Colossus prepares for Koga, so he beats up every poison type he faces. One notable thing is a coughing using self-destruct, bringing Sailor Moon from full down to 22 HP. But it's not like I will not learn from this mistake and use something safe to fight against exploding Pokemon in the future, right? Right? Before you know it, we enter Giovanni's office and challenge him. Mafia boss versus 10-year-old child. Our battle will be legendary. He starts off with a useless Stone Snake. We lead with Aquaman. Onyx is weak, however not weak enough to be beaten by a Magikarp, so we switch out to Poison Ivan. Ivan does what he does best and one-hits the Onyx with the quad-effective Razor Leaf. Brian is met with the same fate, as it also dies with only one Razor Leaf, leaving Giovanni with only his Kangaskhan. We begin by planting seeds on it, and the first bite does not do significant damage. The following Mega Punch, however, does over half HP, and we could not survive another hit. After getting the poison, we switch out to Colossus. Kangaskhan gets chipped down by Leech Seed and Poison, and Colossus finishes it off with a dig, not even taking damage because we are faster. Giovanni gives us the Silph Scope for beating him up, and we take it thankfully, because with this, we can go back to Lavender Town and catch ourselves a ghost. Before doing that, however, we train a bit on Route 8. We can finally evolve Aquaman, and with the Pokemon on this route, we get exactly what we want, which is attack and speed EVs. With the Gyarados, our team quality rises significantly. Now we only need some good moves for it. After the training session, we enter the Pokemon Tower, but before catching a new Pokemon, we have to beat up our rival once more. We strategize a bit, and the battle begins with the double Pidgeotto lead. We kill this bird with 2 wing attacks, while getting crit by a gust that doesn't do much damage. Bud brings out his Gyarados, and to stay with the mirror battles, we switch out to Aquaman that even lowers his Gyarados' attack. He with a Thrash for pitiful damage, and we can finish it with 2 Dragon Rage attacks. Before the fight, I teached Colossus Shockwave to kill the Gyarados, but I did not expect so little damage from it. Well, we used the TM for nothing, but I will not complain about an easy fight. Next up is Execute, but Aquaman did not have breakfast, so he takes a big bite out of his hard-boiled eggs and finishes it in one gulp. The Kadabra that comes out next suffers the same fate, and so only the Chameleon is left. We once again use Dragon Rage for over half and only suffer 4 HP damage from an Ember. We finish the Chameleon and the battle with ease. To be honest, it was not Bud's fault to lose like this. We are overleveled and have some pretty strong Pokemon for this point in the game. After this little inconvenience, we progress to catch a little ghost in the tower. We find a Ghastly that we catch with the first Pokeball. We name it Dr. Strange, who is jolly, so special attack down and speed up. The nature is really bad, but we can compensate it with a bit of EV training. We make our way up the tower to free a soul of a Marowak, and at the top we have to fight some rocket runs. The Coughings are starting to use self-destruct and explosion, but with our new companion being a ghost type, we have the perfect counter for that. Well. Hallo Schmoggon. Oh, du explodierst doch bestimmt, ne? Bin ich nicht immun gegen Explosionen? Ich bin doch immun gegen Explosionen. Bin ich immun gegen Explosionen? Ich bin immun gegen Explosionen. Ja, ist ja ein normaler Angriff. Und dann gehen wir auf Sailor Moon. Und schlagen ihm ins Gesicht, Junge. Bang. Ich sag es nicht, ne? Und ich sag es noch! Warum killst du mich denn damit? Warum reicht das denn? Why? Well, yes. Because I'm dumb, I stay in with Sailor Moon against the Coughing that I could have battled with Dr. Strange. And so, we lose her to a self-destruct, killing our best late-game special tank. She would have been an important piece in our strategy. With a high special defense, moonshine and cosmic power, she could have tanked for days, but, well, we bury her corpse and mourn her death. We finish the Pokemon Tower and get the Pokeflute from the old man. With that, we may have our replacement for Sailor Moon. Before doing that, we stay in the tower to level up Dr. Strange. With mostly Ghastly encounters, we can train our special attack EVs. Poison Ivan also reaches his final form as Venusaur. But with 3 poison Pokemon right now, we soon have to decide who to place in the box. We delayed the first evolution of Doctor Strange a bit, so we can get Shadow Boy early. To train a bit more efficient, we decide to get the Psychic TM to teach it to Doctor Strange. We pick up an Eevee, because I thought you can't get it with a full team of 6. So we are not allowed to get the Dratini from the game corner anymore. What we actually wanted to pick up was the Tea for the guards so we can enter Saffron City for the Psychic TM. We teach it to Doctor Strange and continue the grinding. We reach level 36 and can learn Shadow Ball, but because I'm a little dumb fuck, I fast forward and press B, so I deny the new attack. At least we can allow Doctor Strange to evolve to a Haunter. After that, we go west to drive across the cycling road to enter Fuchsia City. On the way there, we encounter our first Snorlax. We wake it up with our Pokeflute and catch it to make up for our Clefable. After many sleeping rounds on both sides, we catch it and name it Batman. You know, it's sleeping and bad and... never mind. He ends up with a new to nature and the immunity ability. We put Batman in our active team and sadly Poison Ivan has to give up his place. I know. I wanted to show how good Ivysaur is, but it wouldn't be very clever to run around with 3 poison Pokemon, even though we have 2 Pokemon that are completely immune to ground attacks. The Grass type is just too bad in comparison to Colossus Ground type or Doctor Strange's Ghost type. At least we have a good backup if something goes wrong. With that settled, we enter Route 16 and put Doctor Strange to good use. He completely obliterates the poison Pokemon of the bikers without risking being hit with some explosion moves. He even levels up once more and we evolve it into a mighty thick Gengar. Without any problems, we get to Fuchsia City where we enter the Safari Zone straight away. Within a few steps we encounter an Execute, but we have no luck and it flees before we can catch it. I run around a bit aimless, but at least we can pick up some good TMs and other items. After a bit of running, I find the secret house and the golden teeth. We gain Surf and give the old man his teeth back, so we get one more HM in the form of Strength. After using the TMs and HMs to update the move pool of our team, we ignore most trainers in the Fuchsia gym. We travel through the invisible labyrinth and battle the ninja master Koga. He leads with Coughing while we lead with the low level Growlithe. That I forgot to switch out for the fight. Yikes. So our first round is used to switch to Doctor Strange and he tanks the sludge with ease. We one-hit the Coughing, the Mug and the other Coughing with Psychic, but Weaving survives with 1 HP. Koga just delays the inevitable, and with some more Psychic attacks, the Wheezing also goes down, leaving us as the winner in one of the, if not the easiest gym leader battles. We get the Toxic TM and leave the gym to gear up a bit more. We get the Item Finder and defeat the other Snorlax, so we are able to get 2 leftovers. With these, the survivability of our Pokemon rises immense. Before continuing with our gym battles, we grind a bit more to reach the level cap for Sabrina. We use Route 8 to EV train Batman to get as much HP as possible. After that, we want to improve Aquaman's move pool a bit. Because he's a physical attacker, and water attacks are special in this gen, we can't rely on them. Flying type attacks would be physical, but he can't learn any. So, the bad thing left are normal type attacks. We don't get a stat bonus, but many normal type attacks have good base damage. We go to Route 12 and talk to a girl that gives us return. The attack gets stronger the more friendship your Pokemon does have. With full friendship, the attack has a damage of 102, so it's the strongest move Aquaman can learn without any downsides. One more thing we have to do before battling Sabrina is clearing out the Softcore building. We get the door key and once more beat up every rocket grunt that crosses our way. None of them poses a threat. Who does, however, is our rival Bud, who, for some reason, is chilling out in this building. This battle won't be as easy as the ones before. As always, he leads with Pidgeotto, and we lead with Batman, who we teach Rock Tomb. It starts off with Feather Dance, crippling our attack stat so that we deal only a quarter damage. We tank 1 wing attack and switch to Body Slam, which crits and brings down the little bird. Next up is the Gyarados, crippling us even further with Intimidate. We use Yawn to put it to sleep in the next round, after tanking a Dragon Rage. We switch out to our own Gyarados Aquaman, using our Intimidate and doing over half HP with Return. We finish the sleeping enemy with another one and Bud brings out his Charizard. Here is where the problems begin. We switch once again to Batman to use Yawn. Charizard's Flamethrow does a bit more damage than expected, and we are in a really bad situation. We can't chip it down easily because it will fall into Blaze range. We switch back into Aquaman, so we can at least lower Charizard's physical attack. Another Flamethrower deals a quarter HP damage but burns us and rendering Aquaman useless. Charizard falls asleep and we have to finish this lizard soon or it will kill someone important. Return hits for a quarter HP and the burn brings us below half. We switch back to Batman, who heals up with the leftover. Charizard wakes up, hitting another Flamethrower while we use Rock Tomb but miss the kill. That's bad. Now he's in blaze range and is able to kill almost all of our Pokemon. We are not able to outspeed, even with his lowered speed stat. We switch in Colossus, who gets grilled but survives. We do, however, still not outspeed. It's a hard decision, but we have to sacrifice someone in order to get Squirtle in safely so that she can use Quick Attack. Crypto goes down and we bring in Squirtle. It's sad, yes, but to be honest, his bad nature and the bad move of Arcanine in this gen made him an easy sacrifice. Only now I realized that Quick Attack is not 100% accurate. Well, we hope. And we hit, finishing off the Angry Lizard. The Execute comes next and gets bitten by Squirtle for a crit one hit. The Alakazam is last and another Hyper Fang brings it down into the red. Luckily, it only uses Reflect, but Hyper Fang misses. He delays it even further with Recover, but the next Hyper Fang hits, finishing the battle. Man, that was rough. I did not prepare for this fight at all and the Blaze Charizard made me pay for this. We have to prepare for this thing for the next battles against Bud. We lost the doggo, but got the monster of Loch Ness. We name her Wonder Woman. She has an impish nature, so not really good. She does have shell armor however, so with her we don't have to play around crits. Back in the hideout we battle the remaining grunts, and one grunt in particular almost kills Colossus with its Drowsy. I don't expect it to survive a dig, but it does, and retaliates with Psychic, which brings Colossus down to only 21 HP. That was almost one more loss because of fast forwarding. We enter Giovanni's office and battle him once again. He leads with Nidorino, but we top this with our Nidoking. We have the advantage with our ground type, so we can use a turn for focus energy. Nidorino does minimal damage with a Fury attack, even though he gets one crit. We use Dig, his attack misses, and we kill the Nidorino. Next up is his Kangaskhan. We make the brilliant play to switch to Dr. Strange because this kangaroo does not have an attack to hit ghost types. We hit a Psychic, getting the special defense drop, so a second Psychic kills. 2 down, 2 to go. The rest of the battle is uneventful. We defeat the Rhyhorn with Batman, and Nidoqueen has to battle our Gengar because it can only hit us with Poison Sting. 2 Psychic attacks finish the battle, and that's Giovanni done. We get another gift from another old man. I see a pattern here. We leave the Silph Scout building and are ready to defeat Sabrina. With everyone up to level cap, we strategize a bit before starting the battle against the 7th gym leader. She leads with Kadabra and we bring out Batman. As the clever boy that I am, I teach Batman Brick Break to destroy her Reflect. Kadabra is much faster than Snorlax, so he wastes a round bringing up the Reflect that we just tear down in the same round. Kadabra uses Future Sight and we finish it with another Brick Break. Next up is Mr. Mime, which uses Calm Mind, but we one-hit it right back into the Pokeball with a Body Slam. For a Venomoth, we switch to Wonder Woman, who gets hit by a Psybeam and Future Sight, tanking it with ease. For whatever reason, I decided to use Perish Song and not going for the kill. I get confused and hit myself 4 freaking times in a row. So this Lamb Lover can ship us down below half HP. We hit Perish Song and switch to Batman. We one-hit with Body Slam and don't get confused a second time. Like I said, I don't know why I did this. Out comes Alakazam, while Batman is at full HP thanks to leftovers. It starts with Calm Mind and we go for a Yawn. Next round, it uses Psychic, which does about 60 damage. We retaliate with Body Slam and, thanks to a high roll, we kill the Alakazam in one hit. With that, we finish the scariest gym battle of Kanto, getting the 7th badge and another Psychic TM. Next up is the volcanic island of Pyro. We clear the remaining routes and battle the trainers to level up a bit more. We get back to Fuchsia City and travel south to reach the water routes. We reach the Seafoam Islands, in which we run around aimlessly. I even run in a circle, thinking I reached the exit while only getting disappointed that I'm right where I started. At one time I get so lost I meet Articuno, but after some more running around I find the exit. We reach Cinnabar Island and use the research station to revive our Lord and Savior Lord Helix. Before we can battle Blain, we have to run around in another building doing some door shenanigans. The Pokemon Mansion is creepy but also has cool music. We beat the trainers, loot the items and need some time to get behind the riddle, but in the end we find the key to the gym. To be honest, if you're a trainer in Blain's gym, you should take legal actions against him for locking you inside the building without water, food or something else, but whatever. We are too strong to even care for the questions in this gym, so we just use the trainers to level up. We bring everyone up to level cap and begin the battle with Blain. Blain leads with Growlithe and we start with Batman. His Intimidate lowers our attack from the get-go, and to top it all off, the Fire Blast of Growlithe burns us, crippling our physical attacks completely. Body Slam deals less than 50%, but at least it paralyzes the doggo. Next round we are faster and use another Body Slam. That leaves it with just a slither before tanking another Fire Burst with ease. This goes back and forth a bit because Blain heals with a Hyper Potion while we use Rest, but in the end, Rollers goes down. Next up is Ponyta, and because Rest healed our burn, we can deal more damage now. Ponyta stumps us, but we don't flinch and Body Slam kills it with a crit. Rapidash is next and misses its Fire Spin, so we can get a free yawn off. The next Fire Blast also misses and Body Slam deals more than 50%. Rapidash is now sleeping, but another Body Slam just finishes it. Last is Arcanine, which lowers our attack once again. We tank a takedown and use another yawn. Next round we go for Brick Break because we don't want Body Slam to paralyze the big doggo. Now it is asleep and we switch to Aquaman just to save time. We finish the battle with style and use Hyper Beam to destroy the Arcanine. With that, we get the second to last badge and are ready to battle Giovanni one last time. We train a bit more, finishing everyone's EV training and bringing them up to level cap of 50. We travel back to Viridian City and clear the gym puzzle after trying to battle as few trainers as possible. We reach Giovanni and he tells us about a super secret plan of rebuilding Team Rocket with this gym as their secret base. You know, this gym every trainer has to access and beat to challenge the Elite Four? I wonder why Team Rocket always fails. Well, we have more important things to do, so we start a battle. He leads with Rhyhorn and we begin with Dr. Strange. Giggle Drain makes short work of it and kills it in one go. Trio meets the same fate, going down in one hit. For Nidoqueen, we switch to Psychic but stay with the one hits. Same with Nidoking. His last Rhyhorn gets sucked again, and with that we won the 8th and last badge and also acquire the Earthquake TM. With that done, we got every gym badge and are, in theory, allowed to battle the Elite Four. Before doing that, however, we get back to the power plant because we need an electric type Pokemon. And even though encounters are random, we can fiddle about the chances a bit. You see, Repel only protects you from Pokemon with a lower level than your own. So if you have a route with 2 different Pokemon, and one Pokemon has an encounter level of 5 and the other one has an encounter level of 10, you can get a Pokemon with between level 6 and 10 to guarantee the higher level Pokemon. With this small trick, we get a Magneton and name it Shazam. Shazam has a might nature, which is good and bad. It's good because it boosts our special attack, and it's bad because it lowers our defense. I want him as our physical tank, so this is not optimal, but still okay. We EV train him in special attack and defense and bring him up to level cap. We also use our savings to buy some coins at the Celadon City Casino. With these, we can buy TM24, which is Thunderbolt, which we teach to Shazam. Next up, we farm some items. First is the Twisted Spoon. We teach Killer the Thief, so we can steal this item from Abra on Route 24. We use this to boost Dr. Strange's psychic attacks. Next is the Magnet, which we farm in the power plant from White Magneton. We want this to boost the electric attacks of Shazam. For this we can use the same trick that we used to catch our own Magneton. This time we use Birdman as our bait, which was a bad idea. We are too slow to flee from an Electek, which kills Birdman with one Thunder Punch. To be honest, this is not a relevant death, but it was easily avoidable. Rest in peace, my little pigeon. We finish the farming session and go on. The last item that we need is the Never Melting Ice. We can farm these from white dugongs on the Seafoam Islands. This takes the most time, but after killing so many seals that every Canadian would be jealous, we get the item that we needed for Wonder Woman. While grinding some more levels, Shazam's magnets disturb the emulator, which we can luckily fix with restarting it. Und dann haben wir genau 25 Stück. While preparing for the Elite Four, I find out that Bill will take us to the Savvy Islands. Even though we don't want to play the post-game, we want to get to the move reminder on Island 2. I talk to Bill and he takes us to the islands. What I do not know is that he takes you hostage for some time to work as a slave. Because no one else will take us away from here, we have to obey and do as Bill pleases. Well, before doing that, we get to Island 2 and talk to the move reminder. He tells us, however, that we have to bring in some shrooms to get high on before he will teach my Pokemon some moves. And, well, I don't have any drugs on me right now. So, we follow Bill's commands. For this, we have to deliver something, but the guy that had the thing is sad because his daughter is missing, and then there are also some biker guys and some more story shit. Long story short, we defeat a pedophile, save the girl, get the thing, and are allowed to leave the Savvy Islands. Back on the mainland, we face the last challenge before the Elite Four. We have to battle our rival but once more. We go back to Viridian City, enter Route 22 and start our last battle as normal rivals. As always, Bud starts with his Pidgeot while we send out Shazam. We could use Thunderbolt to kill the Pidgeot, but I want to prepare for the later Pokemon, so I start with Reflect. Pidgeot uses Quick Attack, dealing pitiful damage. Another one does even less damage, thanks to Reflect, and we finish it off with Thunderbolt. Next, he already sends out his Charizard. Staying in would be our demise, so I predict the Flamethrower and switch to Batman. He tanks it, but we get burned. The next Flamethrower leaves us close to half HP, and we use Yawn for the safe sleep on the next turn. We can use Rest to not only heal our HP, but also the burn while Charizard goes to sleep. We both sleep for 2 turns, but on turn 3, we wake up while Charizard is still in Dreamland and we attack with Rollout. This leaves him with just above half HP, and on the next turn he wakes up and uses Wing Attack, but our next Rollout kills Charizard with ease. Right now we are in a very good position. Batman is almost full HP, heals every turn with leftovers, and Rollout is already at turn 3, doing 120 damage. Rhyhorn comes out next and gets hit by the 120 Rollout, which only does a quarter HP damage. Rhyhorn's body check deals minimal damage, which we easily heal with leftovers. We are in turn 4 of Rollout, which is just short of killing the Rhyhorn. Sadly, the body check recall damage does not kill, so we have to use our 480 base damage Rollout for this little HP. With that, Rollout ends just as Bud sends out his Execute. We dodge the Sunspore and use Body Slam, leaving it at about a quarter HP. We also dodge the next Sleeping Powder and start the next Rollout on the X, even getting a crit, but once again leaving them at just a slither. Next turn the Sleeping Powder hits and Rollout ends. We just wait to wake up and finish the Execute with another Rollout. Alakazam comes out and starts with the Calm Mind while we hit our turn 2 Rollout. This leaves him with just under half HP and he uses Disable but misses, so we can finish it off with the turn 3 Rollout. Last is the Gyarados, which lowers our attack with the Intimidate and spits some water at us, doing no damage at all. With nothing in our way, we use the turn 4 Rollout, hitting the Sea Serpent very effectively and finishing off this rival battle with the Rollout sweeping Snorlax. With that out of the way, we enter Route 23, where some dudes check out our badges, but we have them all. The Boulder Badge, the Cascade Badge, the Thunder Badge, the Rainbow Badge, the Soul Badge, the Marsh Badge, the Vulcano Badge, and last, the Earth Badge. After that, we enter Victory Road. Here, we have to face our hardest and most challenging battle ever, the Boulder Puzzles. We rearranged the whole cave and exited without anything noteworthy occurring. With that, we reached the Indigo Plateau and could in theory battle the Elite Four. Before doing that, however, we have to train a bit more, buy and grind some items, and rethink our move pool a bit. So we get to our old farming spots for EXP and the remaining EVs that we can distribute. I decided to start the Elite Four at level 60. With that, I'm not overleveled from the start, and when I get to the champion, I use my remaining rare candies to get everyone to the level cap of 63. While leveling, I encounter a shiny Machoke that I catch with the Master Ball, because I'm allowed to, name it Shinny, and place it in the box. So after getting everyone to level 60, I think about my move pools. To get the best moves possible, I have to do 2 things. First, I have to get to the move deleter to remove some HMs. After that, I can farm some Paris for some shrooms that we can give to the move relearner. We can do that with a Thief attack on Colossus. And with all said and done, we are ready to challenge the Elite Four. Let's get over the team one last time. We have Colossus the Nidoking, a poison and ground type with no poison attack. He's fast and can deal some good damage with Earthquake. Dick can be used to dodge some attacks while dishing out damage. Thief won't be that useful because only the ace Pokemon carries a berry. He carries no designated item. Next up is Wonder Woman the Lapras. She has some good special bulk, but can also deal some nice damage with her water and ice stab attacks. I teach Terrain Dance, just in case I need to cripple the champ's Charizard's fire attacks. Wonder Woman will switch between Never Melting Ice and leftovers in these fights. Number 3 is Aquaman the Mighty Gyarados. Trained in attack and speed, this monster can dish out good damage even with no good stab moves. In the right situation, we can buff up with Dragon Dance and boost our speed and attack even more. Here we get the Quick Claw for some lucky priority attacks. Next on the list is Shazam the Magneton. Our only physical tank, but also our Pokemon with the highest special attack stat. He had Thunderbolt for the damage, Reflect to give the team some physical bulk, Lock On for the Claws of Lorelei. With Lock On, you can hit it while it uses Dive. And Thunder Wave to cripple the speed of some enemies. Shazam will use the Magnet to boost his electrical attacks even more. Second to last is the mighty thick Batman the Snorlax. He has brilliant special defense and can tank almost every special attacker. He has Body Slam and Rollout to deal some big damage and can even boost himself with Belly Drum. To heal up after Belly Drum, or if we get low on HP or burned, we have Rest. Of course, Batman will make use of the leftovers. Last but not least is Dr. Strange the Gengar. He has a brilliant typing with a brilliant levitate ability. He uses Psychic to make use of a special attack stat. Giga Drain gives him good coverage and the ability to heal himself. Shadow Ball is physical in this gen, but is at least a stat move. And later I switched out Hypnosis for Thunderbolt to have one more Pokemon that can deal with Gyarados. He carries the Twisted Spoon to boost his Psychic attack. With his team, I challenged the Elite Four. Now, the game is on. First up is Lorelei and her Ice, or Water, type Pokemon. She leads with Dewgong while we bring out this fight's MVP Shazam. We are fast enough for her first 3 Pokemon, so with the Magnet boosted Thunderbolt, we finish off Dewgong, Cloyster, no lock-on for you, and Slowbro. Next up is Lapras. Because we can't one-shot Lapras, we switch out to Batman. We get confused, but can hit with Body Slam and even get the paralysis. We trade Body Slams in the next round, but ours does significantly more damage. Lapras would be in heal range, but the Citrus Berry heals enough so that we could finish Lapras with another Body Slam. We don't get through the confusion this time, however, and Batman hits himself. Sadly, the same thing happens in the next turn. At least, Lapras gets the full power, so we can heal up a bit with leftovers. After 5 turns of being confused, we snap out of it and hit the Body Slam, leaving only the Jinx on Lorelei's side. With Lovely Kiss, it puts Batman to sleep, and while sleeping, we even fall in love with this thing. This does not bother our big boy, however. He wakes up, ignores his feelings, and Body Slams the Jinx right back to where it came from, giving us the first victory against the Elite Four. Next up is the fighting, or ground, or even rock type trainer Bruno. This can be a clean sweep with Dr. Strange, if everything goes as planned. He leads with Onix, but this won't stay out long. We use a quad-effective Giga Drain to put the Onix down. Next is Hitmonchan, which we can't safely one-hit KO. The Psychic is a high roll, so we hit the range and kill off Hitmonchan. The next Onix faces the same fate as the first one, getting knocked out with one Giga Drain. Now his Ace Machamp comes out. Once again, we have to play at a range for a one-hit KO. But once again, he can't dish out enough damage. So even if we don't get the kill, we are safe. We don't hit the range, but luckily for us, he only uses Bulk Up. Bruno uses his healing items, so it's just a matter of time before Machamp falls. Last but not least is Hitmonlee. Once again, no safe one-hit KO. Once again, nothing it can do to be dangerous. We hit the Psychic, we hit the range, we finish the battle. Easy sweep, easy life. Half of the Elite Four done, and until now, we didn't have any problems. Next is Agatha, and her Ghost, or Poison, type Pokemon. We can use Dr. Strange once more to exploit her Psychic type weakness. We start with the Gengar Mirror Battle, but the battle is already decided. We are faster than all of her Pokemon. We can one-shot all of her Pokemon except Arbok, which needs a high roll. We kill Gengar, we kill Golbat, we kill Haunter, we hit the range and kill Arbok, and we kill the second Gengar, finishing battle number 3 in another easy and clean sweep. Last of the Elite Four is Lance and his mystical dragons. Even though Wonder Woman will be the MVP with her ice type attacks, we start the battle with Shazam while Lance sends out his Gyarados. We use Reflect to be safe from physical attacks while tanking a bite for pitiful damage. Next round, we finish the Sea Serpent off with Thunderbolt. Next up is Dragonair, and we start with the Thunder Wave before it can use Safeguard. With the first real dragon on the field, we switch out to Wonder Woman to make good use of her ice attacks. Dragonair gets the full power, so we can switch in safely. And it is here I remember that I forgot to switch her item from Leftovers to Never Melting Ice. That is important, because only with that we can one-shot the Aerodactyl. Well, before thinking about that, we one-shot the first Dragonair. Next up is the Prehistoric Fossil, so we have to be a bit lucky. Surf is in range for the one-shot, but he can also deal some good damage against us. He's fast and uses Ancient Power, leaving us just above half HP. We retaliate with Surf, getting the high roll once more, and finish off the dinosaur. Now comes out the second Dragonair, which uses Thunder Wave before getting killed by another Ice Beam. Now we face Lance's last and strongest dragon, Dragonite. The only thing killing us at this range would be a crit Hyper Beam, while we always one-shot with Ice Beams, considering we get through the full power. Well, dumb as it looks, Dragonite goes for Wing Attack, we don't get full power, and we hit the Ice Beam, finishing off Lance and the last Elite 4 member. None of these guys were any trouble, but this won't mean that we can sweep our rival Bud just as easy. We heal everyone up, but dumb as I am, I forgot to use my remaining rare candies to bring my team to level 63. Because of this, we start a battle with Bud with an underleveled team. But we have one more thing to our advantage, Friendship. And with this power that Bud will never be able to learn, we begin the last fight of this challenge. He leads with Pidgeot, while we begin with Shazam. Like before, we set up Reflect for physical attacks. His bird's area ace does pitiful damage even with the crit. He lowers our attack on the next turn, but we don't care and finish it off with Thunderbolt. And now, something bad happens. While studying his team and doing some theory crafting, I read that the champ will always use the same first 3 Pokemon, which are Pidgeot, Rhydon and Alakazam. And for this, I planned my strategy. So, you can imagine how surprised I was when Bud sends out his Charizard as his second Pokemon. Well, time for some on-the-fly strategy. I can't stay in with Shazam because he's faster and can always one-shot me. I switch out to Aquaman to lower his attack stat. Firestorm deals about a quarter HP damage, so we can tank some. We can use his low damage to set up, so I start using Dragon Dance. His next Firestorm hits again and manages to burn us, making my setup strategy useless. Damn it. With Aquaman crippled, I switch out to Wonder Woman. Firestorm deals his third HP damage. I can stint for another attack because our ability saves us from critical attacks. The fourth Firestorm hits again, bringing us in kill range. We have to use Ice Beam because Surf would bring him into Blaze range. I'm also afraid to use Rain Dance because he still has the Gyarados that can make use of the boosted water type attacks. So, my plan is to stall out the last Firestorm with Colossus and bringing in Batman. We do exactly that, and on the switch in, Batman gets hit by Slash, doing insignificant damage. So now, it's time for the setup. We get hit by Area Ace before we can use Belly Drum. Not even a crit will kill us right now, so we can use Rest to heal back up. We sleep for 2 turns, staying healthy with leftovers. And now it's time. We kill Charizard with Body Slam. Next is Alakazam, which only uses Future Sight, so we can kill it with Body Slam and get some free healing from leftovers. Next up is Executor, which puts us to sleep but misses the Egg Bomb on the next turn while Batman wakes up after only 1 turn and kills with Body Slam. Now comes the problem. Even at +6, we can't kill the Rhydon, while it deals good damage with Earthquake. Well, it would be a problem if Batman wasn't such a brilliant team member. The first Earthquake leaves us just under half HP, while we hit Body Slam for the same range and get the very important Paralysis. With that, we are faster, can hit the Body Slam and kill the Rhydon. So, the only thing left is the Gyarados, which lowers our attack by 1 stage, but this won't change anything. We hit, we kill, and we win. That was scary. Damn, I got 10 years older in this fight. Because I forgot to use rare candies, I was underleveled and the fight was harder than it had to be. But with that, we get our entry in the Hall of Fame and finish this Softcore Nuzlocke. Well, Softcore? I never overleveled any gym. I never used healing items. I played on set mode. With all that, I can confidently say, no, this was not a Softcore Nuzlocke. This was my first ever Nuzlocke challenge. And I completed it as a hardcore Nuzlocke. Phew. That was hard, but it made so much fun. For the last generations of Pokemon games, I found it hard to enjoy them. Either because I found them too easy, or because I didn't like the gimmick that was introduced in this gen or something else. I preferred playing Pokemon ROM hacks and fan games, but this challenge showed me how beautiful this game still can be. I had so much fun theory crafting and building the team while you have to deal with Pokemon that the routes throw at you. Yes, I had some brilliant and strong Pokemon like Snorlax and Gyarados, but they felt not like insta-win conditions, and I still had to think about how I can use them most effectively. With that in mind, I will play more Nuzlocks in the future, and if you want, you can watch them live on my Twitch channel. Or subscribe here on YouTube if you want to wait for the commented version on the completed run. Until then, and ciao ciao.